So this is something that's very special and important to me that I'm sure that most people will not care about, but I've been wanting to make this video this year because 2025 is the 20th year anniversary of when I attempted to make my first quote unquote movie. It's only a half an hour long and I made it was when I was 15 years old, so I don't know if you can really count it as a movie, but at the time that was certainly the intent. It's called Possessed and it's a horror movie that essentially tries to blend the best of Evil Dead and From Dusk Till Dawn together. Those were my two inspirations, and it's when I say inspirations, I mean I was totally and completely ripping them off with pretty much no original idea of my own whatsoever. But at the time, I was trying to do my best. So back in 2005, I managed to convince a bunch of my friends to get together and not only act in the movie, but I had friends doing the makeup effects. My friends Matt and Joel contributed tremendously, along with everybody else that's involved in the movie themselves. It's called Possessed, and essentially I'm going to go through this movie with you guys and show you clips and scenes and commentate a little bit. I'm not going to upload the entire film. I might actually for channel members and Patreon members, but as far as this video is concerned, it's just going to be me commenting on, some of the crappy stuff that I tried to do back in the day. I don't know why I attempted to try to write a dark and serious, gritty horror movie when we have a bunch of 15 and 16-year-old actors that, you can barely take seriously. That weren't even like actors. They were just my friends. But hey, we tried our damnedest. I remember everybody getting together to film, and we would go through all the makeup effects together, and we would test it out and do our possessed, zombie makeup on each other, as well as pretty much watch Shaun of the Dead in the background for inspiration every single day before filming. So yes, this was back in 2005, where I'm showing my age here, but that was the time that I started. And I continued to make short films up until my early to mid 20s. If you're a channel member, a bunch of them are available for you guys. But this was something that I was really passionate about and something that I was really trying to do. I've always been a huge fan of storytelling in general, whether it's movies, books, games, whatever it may be. And I always, of course, wanted to tell my own stories and make my own movies because that's just something that I've always gravitated towards. And that still is a goal deep in my heart and something that I want to do again. I want to be able to create my own stories. I mean, I always viewed YouTube as sort of like filmmaking adjacent. Like, it's not 100% what I want to do, but it's pretty close. It's like right next door, and the difference is I'm commentating and reviewing and, going through story and lore of material that already exists. But I would like to create my own original stuff as well, and I'm hopefully, working towards being able to make that a reality in the future. But for the time being, I have a handful, 5-6 movies that I made between the ages of 15 and 27, somewhere around there, was probably like the last time that I tried to make anything. So this is the first one. This is called Possessed, and you're damn right, I have a DVD cover for the movie, as well as the actual DVD disc. Look at that right there. Yeah, good artwork on there. Yeah, so we actually made these DVDs. We gave them out to people. I don't know, some people might still have some out there. Mine still works, shockingly, but everything does look like it was filmed on a potato because back then it was like the little DV tapes that you would put into the bigger VHS tape. That's what we recorded on, and everything was edited both just like using VCRs and with Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, but considering I'm coming up on the 20th anniversary of Possessed, I figured I would make this little video going back in time and talking to you guys about it. So I'm going to show a few scenes for you guys. Now, keep in mind, everything here is terrible. All right? I'm not saying that this is good at all. It's going to look terrible because the video quality was just terrible to try to get onto my computer. So it looks like it already looked like shit, but then trying to put it on my computer makes it look like double shit. So it doesn't look good. The acting is poor. I'm going to I always go around the credits and stuff because my friends that were in the movie at the time, obviously they agreed to do it when we were kids, but now everybody has lives and careers and jobs and stuff. So I'm not trying to like put them out into the world without their permission. So I'm only going to show like little bits and pieces and stuff like that. So hopefully nobody will get mad at me. But essentially, yes, the story starts like this. So we start with two bank robbers. I was in a very heavy Tarantino phase at this time as well. So, you know, like I said, From Dusk Till Dawn, Reservoir Dogs inspiration, very heavy here. And obviously I couldn't show the bank robbery because we had no budget. So the beginning of the movie shows the two bank robbers after the job went wrong, a la Reservoir Dogs. Like I said, this movie is a total ripoff of everything that I like. There's no original ideas to be found here. But they're running through the woods because they're being chased by the cops. And I put sound effects of the police sirens in the background. And so they're running and they're just looking for some place to hide out because they're being chased. And lo and behold, they find a house out in the middle of the woods. And they decide, hey, this is a good spot. We're going to break in here. Whoever's in here, we don't care. We're just going to break in. And this is where we're going to hide out for the night until, you know, shit begins to cool down. So
looks like someone up there likes us. Nice. There's someone coming out of the house. Oh, it's been quieter than I thought.
I have this other plot going on with a bunch of kids hanging out, just having a party. You know, they're playing poker. I don't know why me and my friends never played poker together, but I just felt like that was a good idea for them to do.
What do you got? Nothing. What about you?
Same.
2 queens. What? You see that? Hey, what are you talking about? You guys are sore losers.
And then the two bank robbers break in.
Be cool. Whoa, what the hell? Stay calm. Get your ass up. Get under these. You two against the wall.
Now, I wanted to have a clear arc with these two criminal characters where there is one that's clearly the leader in the situation that's much more psychotic, and then there's one that's more sympathetic. So you have one character that is basically like a killer incarnate, and then you have another character that's a little bit more of like, yo, I just want to rob banks and make money or whatever. So once they get down here and hold the kids hostage, the leader of the two pretty much wants to kill one of them just to make a statement and pretty much just say like they're in charge and nobody can talk back against them. And I wanted to show how sadistic he was. So he pulls out one of the kids and forces her to choose which one of them dies. And if she doesn't choose, then he's going to kill all of them. And I tried to make it a big like tension fueled sequence, obviously. By the way, that blood splatter that's on the wall, we filmed that in my parents' basement. That blood splatter is still there. In fact, all of the blood that we used in this movie has stained onto the walls, stairs, and floor of my parents' basement. So if my mom ever decides to sell the house, she is going to have to explain that all of the blood in the basement is in fact not real. But it's still there. It is still there to this day. I could go there and point out every single blood splatter that we did. I don't think we realized it was going to stain the walls and last forever, but yeah, it's still there. So what I wanted to do was this From Dusk Till Dawn style where halfway through the movie it begins to shift into monsters and demons and stuff. And so I took inspiration from Evil Dead, where I had the lead bad guy go upstairs. And also we filmed different locations for every part of this house. Like the exterior of the house is one person's house, the upstairs is another person's, and the basement was mine. So we made it all look like one house, even though it was 3 separate locations. But he goes upstairs, he starts exploring, and I have no justification for this. There's no reason. There's no... I mean, to be fair, in the first Evil Dead movie, they just kind of find the Book of the Dead, and it's later that you find out that the Professor Nobi was working on it. But in our version, there's no professor. He just finds the Necronomicon. It's literally just there. I don't know why. So confused by all of the craziness in this book. I don't know why, again, I cannot explain it to you. I don't know what 15-year-old Ryan was thinking, but he has one of the kids read from the book. And I can't remember exactly what it says. I remember I literally did write out like a resurrection passage and then translated it into some other language. But I don't know what language I put it in, and I don't remember what it was originally supposed to say. But it actually did say something legitimately at one point in time. And at first, nothing happens. So the movie goes on. And then all of a sudden, the body of the first kid that he killed had suddenly moved and then starts to move again. Then we get our big action sequence. The body comes up. It starts to attack. Matt, the main killer, is the first one to get attacked. His face gets ripped open, which you can barely see because it's so dark, covered in shadow and filmed on a potato. But it's in there. And then a big fight scene breaks out. So basically, everybody dies except for the second killer and the girl that had to make the decision of which one of her friends was going to die earlier on. They run upstairs. I had no explanation as to why they couldn't just leave the house. So for some reason, the door just won't open. It's like the laziest thing you could possibly think of. But yeah, they can't escape.
Won't open. Won't open.
But they do find a very obviously fake shotgun. And like I said, the movie is only a half an hour long, so you could call it a short film or whatever. So we're already getting towards our final confrontation. The horror stuff is literally only the last like 11 minutes of the half an hour movie. All that setup, and then it just explodes and ends very, very quickly. So they go back down to the basement, and the other killer or the other bank robber is taken out immediately. And the girl is left to fight the reanimated corpses, or, you know, they're demon possessed. That's basically Evil Dead, my version of it at the time. And what I wanted to do with this too, I was trying to think like so clever when I was younger. It's so stupid now, but like I wanted the movie to constantly shift protagonist. So like I wanted the leader of the two robbers to basically be the main character of the first part because he's leading everything that's happening. And then he gets taken out right away that you don't expect. And then it's the other robber that kind of takes over the lead. And then he gets taken out. And then it's the girl of the friend group that takes over the lead for the finale of the movie. So what I wanted to do was like continuously shift protagonists as characters got killed off. But it's basically pretty simple and self-explanatory. She goes on and fights the reanimated corpses and kills them off. There's one scene where I wanted her to gouge somebody's eyes out, but we didn't really have a way to do that. So I put it in this like shitty slow-mo, and it just doesn't look good. But we actually had these two like marbles that he had in his face, and she like pushed the marbles out. You don't see it on camera at all, but I don't know, we tried. And then at the end, she walks out in the morning, the final survivor, only to find out that there's one more body that got possessed. It was the other robber that she never checked on, and he attacks her right before the end credits roll. And of course, the credits are Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie, because why not? And back then, nobody was thinking about, you know, copyright and uploading this online. Like, the thing is filled with copyrighted music, right? Like, back then, you just didn't think about that kind of stuff. It wasn't really until later. Like, this was still a year before YouTube, you know? So, yeah, I got Rob Zombie music in it. I found other music off the internet. Who knows how many copyrighted songs are in this thing, but you know, hey, we didn't know any better back then. Now, I guess I'll end with this little opening montage that we put before the movie of some of the behind the scenes and us making it. Makes me feel very nostalgic. Again, I know this video is probably not going to appeal to like anybody out there except for maybe like the 3 people that watch me that know me in real life, but considering it's been 20 years since I made this, I don't know, I was feeling very nostalgic, you know? I was feeling like I really wanted to do something special for it, or upload a video for it, or tell the world what I was doing 20 years ago. I don't know. Now, aside from all of that, I am attempting to write a horror movie right now that I hope to film someday. I have no idea how I'm going to do it because obviously I don't have a budget or people to work with to figure it out just yet. But, you know, that's a goal of mine. And I'm not going to lie that Possessed is still a very heavy inspiration in my heart. The story I'm writing is almost, 90% different, but there's still elements of it out there. And I think I did that on purpose. I think I really do want to, like, honor what we were trying to do before, but try to actually make it legitimately good. I don't know what the future will hold. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to make a legitimate movie, but what I can tell you is that Possessed was my first, and it's been 20 years, and I'm still trying. And I don't know. Even if I'm not successful, I think that still says something. What it says exactly, I don't know. Stubbornness, right? I am a Taurus after all. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. I appreciate it. Sorry if this was boring and not the kind of content that you want to see, but I just wanted to do a special 20th year anniversary for my first movie. So that's there. I might upload the entire thing for channel members and Patreon members if you guys want to see it. That way I can include everything in the films playlist that I have there. But yeah, that's it, guys. Just a little remnant of the past I wanted to share with you. So thanks for watching, everyone.